Listen to this voice. Yeah, it sounds like the frog in my throat is dying a slow and painful death. Truth is, I feel rough today. I've felt rough for the past several days. I did not feel like recording anything today, but this moment is the exact point of the video that I'm trying to make. I honestly mostly want to tell myself and prove to myself, because I have not come close to mastering this, but the truth is, consistency matters most on the day that you don't feel like doing the thing. But if you're new here, I'm Cameron. I'm a Christian, husband, father, assistant pastor, and world-class garbage collector. And the Order of Eden, this channel exists to bridge the divide between faith and action across a host of domains. And in light of that, we need to have a biblical foundation of consistency as we serve God, serve others, and everything in between. Let me give you an example that you may recognize yourself in, because I do. Someday when you're serious about going to the gym, running, doing whatever, something exercise related, you can start off strong, you can be in a flow for weeks, months, but then eventually, usually for most of us mere mortals, something happens along the way. You're supposed to go to the gym on Monday and, man, you're just a little bit tired. You had a long weekend, you this, that, whatever. You don't go to the gym on Monday. And then it becomes easier to miss the next time. It's easy to miss one day, and then weeks later you're staring at yourself in the mirror knowing that you've lost ground. And a truth that I'm learning to try to face is that momentum doesn't care about how you feel. It only cares about what you do. And I'm filming this because it becomes so easy to wait for perfect situations, perfect conditions, motivation, something that is like trying to just chase the wind, something you can't hold on. It's a flighty bird. Motivation is a fickle friend. And the same thing can happen in our spiritual life. You might have a good habit of reading your Bible and praying, and you miss one day, and not that it's harder to do it the next day, but it's easier to not do it the next day. And then if you miss something like that long enough, it's easy to become acquainted with the habit of not doing it. And then you stack guilt and shame on top of that because you're not doing something you know you should be doing. And now that I've picked back up content creation, I'm hoping to keep that kind of principle, that don't miss the schedule, because once you do, you're reinforcing the idea that it's easy, it's okay to miss that schedule. And I'm sure there's nuance here, and that's for another video. But the truth is, most of the time we don't fail at things because we're incapable. We fail because we miss one streak and then never decide to rebuild it. And as Christians, we'll never become the people that God is calling us to be if we only move when it's convenient. And every great story starts with a call, and it's not when it's convenient, it's not when the hero is ready, it's when the hero is small, sick, tired, completely outmatched. And often in life, our call is simple in a way. We're usually just called to reject waiting for perfect conditions and choose faithfulness instead. Noah built the ark for 120 years with no visible results. There was no rain, no encouragement. Everyone mocked him. But Noah did everything that God commanded him. His faithfulness was better than whatever outcomes he was seeing at the time. His consistency was greater than flighty motivation. In the parable of the talents that Jesus tells in Matthew 25, the only guy who's actually judged harshly is the guy who just didn't do anything. He let fear of his master kill the consistent effort that he was supposed to be putting in. He buried what God gave him, and the others, even though the king was gone for a long time, they were faithful even when no one was watching. We can think of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He didn't feel like going to the cross. He was in agony, sweating blood, and he said, "If there's any way that this cup can pass from me, please let it, but, not my will, but yours be done." The most important act in all of history happened on the worst earthly night of Jesus's life because he chose to be faithful. He chose to be consistent. He chose to follow God, whether he actually just felt like doing that or not. Most people think I'll get consistent when I get good. I'll get consistent when I am motivated. I'll be faithful when conditions are perfect. But the truth is, no. You get good because you're consistent. You generate motion through action. You grow spiritually by showing up messy and tired and imperfect. Back to the gym example, bad reps beat no reps. A few reps beat no reps every single time. So where in your life are you waiting for perfect conditions before obeying God? And I would encourage you to take one small step. Just be faithful. Why not record a video with a scratchy voice? Why not read one chapter of your Bible instead of 5? Why not pray for 2 minutes instead of 20 minutes? Why not do 10 push-ups instead of going to the gym for an hour and a half? Why not just write one paragraph of that thing you're working on instead of the 3 pages you said you were going to do today? Because the truth is, we can't always do everything we can. We're not always at our best. So even if you're not at your best, just try to be consistent, even if it's imperfect. And this isn't just about filming a YouTube video when you don't feel like it, because that is not most people. The lesson from this that I'm trying to apply to other areas of my life is that consistency is obedience in motion. The truth is, we can't always be at the top of our game, but faithfulness will beat perfection every time. All right, I'm gonna stop talking because my throat feels like sandpaper. But I showed up today for this. You can show up today for something, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't feel motivated to do it. I hope this was an encouragement in some way, and hopefully we can reflect on things that we're putting off because we're waiting for perfection. And if you want to keep seeing videos about bridging faith and action, stick around. I'll see you in the next one.